Hello, I'm Jashykins, and welcome to the final vlog for my series, my original series, The Green. Because, yeah, this series has ended, but first let's go over what happened at the end. The final two parts of The Green were first Last Chance and then the Epilogue. And what happened in Last Chance is that Matthias and Plague, well, Matthias is now called Clone, C-L-O-H-N, haha, clever pun. I thought it was. Really isn't a good pun at all. But anyways, Clone and Plague both argue that they need to go on one more mission so that they can get a cure for Grog and end, the Grog outbreak and everything returns to normal. And they're able to argue their point. And so Plague and Clone spend one nice night together. And it turns out Plague still doesn't want to call Clone by his new name and instead keeps on referring to Clone as Matthias. Really because Plague doesn't like how accepting Clone is of his true identity of being a clone. And so Plague and Clone then head out to the lovely little town of Winchester, Kentucky. And Winchester, Kentucky is a real town in Kentucky. I didn't really base it on, reality. I looked for a town in Kentucky that had sort of something spooky to deal with. So that, hey, there's a horror mystery series going there. And the point that sold me to choose the name of the town was I'm a Supernatural fan and Winchester. I was like, I sort of have to. I have to do it, and of course it's one of my little jokes in there that I guess no one found funny, no one really commented, but I found it cute. It's like, I put a bunch of little things in my series that I consider funny, and no one laughs. And I'm like, yeah, I have a really bad fucking sense of humor. And they arrive in Winchester, and a bunch of infected are there. And they, fight their way through, and they end up watching a woman give birth to Blur, which, if you have forgotten, is, in Dead Space, those little babies? Yeah, it's sort of like that. And, of course, before they enter the town of Winchester and witness the woman giving birth to Blur, they give the usual, everything's going to be okay, we're going to have like a picnic afterwards, and everything's going to be fine. And so, after they witness this Blur being born, they get split up. They're running, and yeah, they don't stay together. And not Plague, Clone goes through his own little battles there, and he ends up making it to the front of the lab where the cure is going to be. And so he's just, waiting for Plague, like, okay, he's going to be alive, I can't me and Plague are going to die together. There's no other way this is going to turn out. Plague ends up being infected. Matthews / Clone has to make the really hard decision to kill Plague. And then when Clone goes into the lab, he's only able to get a small sample. Then he's able to escape Winchester and get the medical help he needs. And then a man by the name of, let's see again, David Caffel. And if you're wondering, Caffel comes from a scaffold device from the Animorphs series. Ha ha ha. Yeah, see, no one's fucking laughing. Except me. And David Caffel informs Clone that the sample that Clone got wasn't enough to make this big cure, but it will provide help in the future. Clone is just in distress. The love of his life has died. And in Clone's mind, Plague died in vain. And the whole series ends with the same, what he thinks is a hallucination, might be, might not be, of the woman that he saw in Eskin, New Mexico. Like, touches him, something weird happens to his hand. I'm going to slightly move because the AC has turned on. And that's how it ends. And the answer of who this mysterious woman is, if she is or isn't a hallucination, will be answered in a future series, I promise. It will be a crossover between The Green, another of my original series, SNN, and as of yet, 3 unnamed series, though one of the series, since I finished The Green, will be named, is at least named to me, and so there's plans for a big crossover between 5 series. So yay, I have a lot of fucking work ahead of me. So yeah, I'm really actually surprised that of all my series, The Green for some reason has really gotten the most attention. Like, I've had people comment more about it. Just really fucking weird, just because I consider it to be the weakest of my writings. And yes, I did make it merely start writing again, so I don't know why all of you like the series, but thank you all who have been with me from the beginning, who joined me later on. Thank you very much. I don't know why, but thank you. And since I've talked about this before on, I think, Twitter, Facebook, and possibly even Tumblr, yes, Tumblr, The Green's Tumblr, so I've talked about it. I'm actually saved a bottle of champagne specifically for when I finish The Green, which I have. So I'm going to probably be doing like a live stream or whatever while drinking it and possibly asking questions. Might do that tomorrow or later on in the week. It really depends how everything works out, what I have planned for the week, because there's certain time, if I have to do something the next day, I don't want to be hungover. It's like, no, that's not how life works out. So thank you everyone who has read The Green, and if this video has sparked, I don't know, any interest in you to check out the series, it's available. Some of it's available on DeviantArt. My DeviantArt is Elixir Phoenix. But all of it is available on fictionpress.com/little squiggly line thingy jashykins. And all the important links you can find on my Tumblr, jashykins.tumblr.com. If you click on the table of contents link, you'll go down and click on The Green, and ta-da, there is a whole list of places you can view things about The Green or the actual series, so check that out. Yeah, that makes listing the links really fucking easy. Oh fuck. So I want to thank again everyone who has made writing The Green worthwhile, that has shown interest in the series. And I do plan, of course, for Clone to come back in the crossover series, as well as a series continuing on the Green universe of focusing on the character of George Hunter, who was, as you recall, the person who told Matthias he might not be who he thinks he is. And you'll see more of George Hunter, of his backstory, his actual role in, making Grog, releasing it. So, and there's also one other sort of little tiny clue hidden in The Green about why Grog really came to be. It's like just a little part where Matthias is like, no, won't be interesting. This isn't worth pursuing at this moment. So, yeah. And depending on when the crossover series and when the George Hunter series are both outlined and started to be written, will really depend on how much Clone is shown in the George Hunter series. Thank you again. I am Jashykins, owner at jashykins.blogspot.com, and on Twitter at jashykins, and on Tumblr at jashykins.tumblr.com. YouTube, subscribe, like, comment, yada yada yada. On my blog, please, leave a comment below, and now that you're on my blog, explore. And thank you so much, and until next video, goodbye. Okay, you can stop recording.